Recent short stalker story. You are allowed to use this story yada yada yada. I do not mind XD. Basic info about me. I'm currently a 17-year-old female who gets mistaken as a 21 to 24-year-old since I got into university early. Forgive me if I mess up on my English some, it's my second language. First of all, let me start off by saying that I'm used to being stalked. I guess since I have the face of a child, but the height of an adult that attracts creepers, I'm so used to it, I have actually made a system on how I can check if the stalker is dangerous or not. This story happened about 4 to 5 months ago. I was a student at a university in Marbella, Spain at the time this incident happened. I'm the kind of person who likes to get to class before everyone else to set up pranks haha. One day as I was walking to the university early in the morning, I was listening to music when I heard the sound of a car creeping behind me. There were not any sidewalks, causing the students to walk on the side if not in the middle of the road. Thinking it was a car that wanted to get by to go to work or something, I moved aside. I pulled out my earplugs just as a safety measure and looked at the driver. The driver was almost leaning out of his window entirely, staring creepily at me. His eyes looked as if they were about to pop out, you know, the eyes of someone who does a whole lot of drugs. Being a little startled by this, I pretended to walk on as if nothing was wrong, occasionally glancing at him. I have seen him around before. He and some of his companions would go up to a lot of the girls and try to talk to them and get them inside their big black car. Some of the girls even caught the men trying to take pictures of them. Every time anyone would pass their small shack of a home where all 4 to 5 men lived, it stank of weed. Now that I come to think of it, I wonder why the police never did anything about them. I had finally reached the tunnel one has to cross to get to the university trail, a run-down road up a hill with nothing but farms around it, so convenient. Still hearing the car creep behind me and getting slower as I got closer to the tunnel, I sprinted as soon as I reached the tunnel, out and onto the trail. I had not stopped running till I reached the university's main building. I had looked back and seen the car make a U-turn at the head of the trail and disappeared into the distance. Panting, I tried to open the building's doors. Oh great, it was locked. I pulled out my phone quickly and asked a friend why it was locked at this time. Turns out, drumroll please, it was a holiday today. Meaning I got up for no freaking reason. WHYYYY. After collecting myself, I walked back down the trail stealthily and glanced around everywhere. The car nor the man was in sight. Relieved, I decided to walk through the tunnel at ease. Once I was back on the road, I heard that familiar car creeping behind me noise. Taking a quick glance behind my shoulder, yup, you guess it, it was Creeper Guy, still staring, still with half his body sticking out the window. Thinking quickly, I remembered there was a small fence up ahead, and if one were to jump over it, it would land them right in a forest with lots of cover that I know like the back of my hand. I jogged up to the fence and leaned against it facing the road and the car. I pulled up my phone and pretended texting to someone while I was actually filming the guy's actions. The man's car almost came to a halt and I was ready. Oh. Did I forget to mention that I'm a blue belt in Taekwondo too? Hey, oops. He man seemed as if he was about to open his door when another car came up behind him. This car seemed to be perfectly normal. In fact, the driver was not too happy about my stalker's car driving so slowly. More and more cars began piling up behind Mr. Creeper, forcing him to move on down the road. I watched with a smirk as his face turned into a look of anger at me, the kind of face a baby would make. I have noticed a lot of stalkers make that face when they fail. I watched him watch me until he looked away, having to see where he was driving off to. I waited till he turned the corner, knowing that he might make a U-turn again. I sprinted back to my apartment, double-checking if I was being watched before I went in. I did see that guy again a couple of occasions. He and his buddies tried to talk to me, even tried to touch my arm as I walked away. I will just let you imagine what I did, grins ear to ear. Now that I come to think of this, is a lot creepier than I originally viewed it as. Just exactly what were they up to? I am now at a different university that's much better, especially with security, it's online. Thanks for reading this and possibly featuring it in a video? No? I made a pun. You cannot say no to puns. JK. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button to support my work. And as always, enjoy the fear, my dear.